Well. Good evening, everybody. Not sure if you heard the audio, but we have, I think, a few technical difficulties I'm trying to figure out right now. But if you're able to hear me and you come on into the show, I want to welcome everybody in because we at this time have concluded here. Let me see here. Yes. How you doing there? Good evening. Good evening, Edward. How you doing? How you doing? All right, Anna. Good evening. Hello, everybody. I just want to welcome everybody into the show on tonight. Know that I'm hosting for my dear friend Captain Jack Rackham. He is currently out at doing school, so I'm filling in for him on tonight. Also, my friend Angelo is also going to be joining me a little bit later in the show. I want to make sure if you can all hear me, give me a wave. Hello. Want to make sure our audio is up. I do have a guest coming on, Angelo. You know him. He did his show on Sunday. I was under the weather. I was hoping to join him, but I didn't because of that. Please keep me and my family in prayer. Thank you. Awesome. You all can hear me. That's great. Yes, sir. We're going to get into it tonight. We have a great show lined up for you. Going to be talking about a few things, what some of the latest and greatest news is coming around the NFL. And I want to make sure that everybody is participating tonight. I might run it a little different than Captain Jack, but that's all right. Come on, talk to me. Yes. And it's so good to be here in attendance with you guys. Knowing that I am known as Bishop AJ Breu. I'm also a diehard Raider fan. I've been since 1976, and I'm from the old guard. I've seen the ups and downs of the Raider Nation. I certainly have seen the glory days, which hopefully they are returning with now Antonio Pierce as the head coach. I am ecstatic about what the coaching staff is doing, and that's going to be one of the topics I want to talk about tonight. If you want to come into the show also on tonight and talk about anything that is related to the Raiders or the NFL, you want to talk about the MLB season, which just got started today, you're more than welcome to come on in. Salute. I see you guys. I see you there, Ed Winchell, Ramiro Castro, Ana Diaz. God bless you. Jack Kenna. How you doing? All right. And so without further ado, I do want to address the latest news that's going around with the Raiders talking about a possible trade. And to me, right off the bat, I get a little bit, how do I want to call it? Anxiety. Because if they're going to do it now, right? And while you have teams like Atlanta, New England, Washington, and Chicago sitting up there, he wants to keep Josh Jacobs. Yeah, that's something we're going to talk about as well. The free agency. I think let's just stay on course here real quick. Atlanta, if we were to possibly move, what actually sensibly, realistically makes sense? Atlanta has a different need than maybe New England does. Washington, Chicago, all the rumors about them moving off Fields. I don't know. I just don't know. Is Fields coming to the Raiders? Is that a good fit for us? We're going to talk about that today. Again, if you're watching on Facebook, come on over. I want to make sure. Let's see here. Oh, boy. Trying to make sure we got everything here. Order. If you can see that. There we go. Right. Atlanta wants a QB, Jack Kenna said. Yeah, and so does Washington, so does New England. Now, if If it's Atlanta, are they going to ask for less from us? Because they're already a loaded team. They don't really have a lot of pieces they absolutely need to make a deal with the Raiders. But they could be a trade for 13 and still get a quarterback like a Bo Nix, a Penix, or one of these other guys, JJ McCarthy. I like McCarthy. I like his style. He can throw the rock around and you know, let's see here. Phil said he's going on vacation to think about things out first, right? But see, Anna, here's the problem here. It's not in his hands. Fields already stopped following the Chicago Bears. Whatever that means. Because one day, come on, Antonio Brown did it to us, and then one day he was in, one day he was out. It's not in his hands. It's really in what the GMs are going to figure out about Fields. And now that the offensive coordinator is now with us from Chicago, that seems like it might be there might be some blood in the water there. You know what I mean? I don't know if Chicago's going to ask for the house and the bag to move up to number one. Is it worth it? Is the question. You gonna give away 3 threes and more? I don't know if I would do that, you know. Bears want yeah. See, but Caleb Williams don't want to go to Chicago. See, there's a problem. You've got the Eli Manning type situation already brewing, and I don't see Mr. West Coast in LA at USC trying to go all the way back to the East Coast, which he's not familiar with. And I don't think he wants to play in the cold. They're an outdoor team over there. Right. See, Jack Kenner, you pointed out something right there. It says that Russell Wilson, who's this here? Russell Wilson is favored to go to the Steelers. Yep. Bye. He would fit in good over there. Good for him. And I think actually, I think he's going to do good. Who's with me here? Different system. It ain't Sean Payton, but I think that team over there with Baltimore and company, you might see something there. And people don't forget, he's still mobile. Okay, he's an older guy, but Russell Wilson, he might show up somewhere else and show up and show out. I like the move because if he leaves Denver, who does Denver got? I'd like to talk to what's his name from the fan from the Broncos, and that's Richie Rich. If you're out there, Rich, come on in. I want to talk to you today because if you give up Russell Wilson, what does that mean for your team? What exactly does that mean from your team? And are you guys going to wait and see what you can get in the draft and start all over once again? You already gave up half your team and your draft picks for Russell Wilson and paid him and restructured his contract for $300-some million. How you going to get off of that? Now, right. We don't, right. And the whole point is, at the end of the day, folks, let's be, as I said it in the beginning of the show, we got to be realistic about where we're going, what the GM is going to do. And I want to take off the rose-colored shade just for 5 seconds, right? Look at this. We have the best coach for the culture in the locker room. Okay, check that mark off. We got the coach. Cool. All he has to do is coach. He's got all the assistants you could ask for. Former coaches, head coaches. This guy is ready. Okay? Yeah, says I like Russell Wilson. Jack Kenneth says I like Russell Wilson at the 1.5 vet minimum. He is cut and still draft a QB. Nah, not for us. I mean, you get the vet minimum, whatever that is, but I'm not going. He's not worth the 7th round pick. When you really think about it, Russell will be 8-7 and 25, Jack, and yet Caleb, if wanted, could own cartels in Mexico. He's a winner. Now, Caleb, he did say on some public forum back months ago, that he would not. He wants to be a Raider. He wants to play in Vegas, he said. Okay. Let me see here. I heard Russell's going to the Jets to back up Rod. Nah, you see, here's the problem. And I'm going to point that out, Let's put the Jets hat on just for 5 seconds to look at this situation. That's like asking, you got a wife, and you're going to ask another ex-girlfriend to come up in the room in the house and live with you. And they still have the other quarterback there that they drafted. He's supposed to be that. He's developing. But you're going to put 2 veterans above that guy? Why? Why would you do that? You obviously need wide receivers, offensive line. Okay? If I'm the GM in the Jets war room, I'm looking for a mauler. I'd go get the guy out of Penn State. Do the Jets pick before us? I think they do. Now, I'm just saying, when you think about how you got to form the Jets' offensive needs, Russell Wilson is not in the conversation. These are the people on ESPN that don't know jack. And that's why Captain Jack Show says, you don't know jack about sports. Next. Okay. I like where Ed Winchell says, no Wilson, Fields, Cousins, please. Right. These are guys that have been in the league who ain't show me nothing. I mean, I think Kirk Cousins is better than Fields, if you ask me, in some respects. Okay. Fields on a certain day when he decides to play can be better than most quarterbacks in the league, but he's not consistent. Is that the offensive coordinator's fault? No. He don't have the ball in his hand. These are decisions from a football player that's being made out on the field, and you got to understand which way they're going with the ball and the decisions being made. And if these guys aren't doing that, why are they going to put our uniform on? I don't want them. I don't want the trash. That's right. Raider Nation for life. Again, I'd love for some of you guys to come on in. If you want to come in, let me know. I'm going to post the, let's see here. Still trying to get used to some of this here. Let's see if you want to come into the show. Again, if you want to come into the show, hit the link, follow the prompts, and come on in, and I will add you in if you want to come in and talk about some of these things. Captain Jack Show, you don't know jack about sports. And I know why he put it out there, because some of these so-called analysts on ESPN and NFL Network, some of these guys, not all of them, some of these guys don't know nothing. Nothing. That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, Edward Winchell, bad analogy, Bishop. Well, let's talk about that. See, my analogy of this whole thing is we have had free agent quarterbacks come in here left and right. And how many have gotten us to the chip? I could think of two right off the bat. That's it. Over the term of 30 some odd years. Plunkett did it. That's old news. Who after him? Rich Gannon? I ain't seen nobody else. It's at the bottom. I'll list it. I'll list it again here. Let me see here. You should be able to click on that link of YouTube right there, or copy it and paste it, and come on in. Again, that's the link to come on into the show. Dare I say, there may be swearing on the show. Not I, but you. Now, you can come in as you are, speak your mind. At the end of the day, I'm not worried about it. No, Gannon didn't get it done, right? But he got us to the playoffs. He got us to the Super Bowl. Even after Gruden left, we got there and we didn't get it done. You see? And that's the thing. I don't care who says what, but oh no, he didn't. Jack Kenna, I'll stand up for you. These ain't no Colts colors. This is Dodger. Okay? I'm a Raider, Laker, Dodger. Don't come in here talking to me about I'm wearing Colts colors. Woo! You better go home and talk to mama. It says they really need to take into consideration that Vegas is a fast lifestyle. Right. You want someone that will be grounded. These young guys can get caught up in real quick. Look at Ruggs. Anna, you make a great point. That's what is missing here. We can go on and on talking about who should be drafted, who should come in as a free agent. But if this guy who's going to represent us as the quarterback, you're going to buy his jersey, you're going to go all out and support him. The things that, go on here in Vegas, because let's be real, Anna knows it like I do. We both live here. And guess what? I don't care. I don't care about the doggone strip. I pay my taxes with my lovely wife, okay? And I want to send a shout out to my beautiful wife, Alejandra Breu. Amen. She is the first lady of my church. She is Lady Breu over Holiness as a Standard, Ecclesiastical Fellowship Incorporated. We are moving right along with the show tonight. I want to thank Captain Jack for allowing me to be on his platform as well. And I'm gonna put it here. It says, that's right. Dodgers kicked butt today. You got that right. And Shohei Ohtani wasn't even in the lineup. I'll just put that out there. Okay. Put that out there. I know a lot of y'all. My wife has a son named Michael, and he's a Giants fan, and I rub him every day. I say, this Christmas I'm buying you a Dodger hat and maybe a jersey because he's a Giants fan, and I think somewhere he must have fallen down and bumped his head as a kid, because ain't no way you could be a Raider and anything else sports wise. I'm just saying. Hey, Jack Kenna, I'm from NorCal, originally from East Oakland, and I'm gonna tell you, I never rolled with the Warriors. In fact, I thought they was a college team at the time, way back when they had Latrell Sprewell and company. I've always been a Laker. Okay, always been a Laker. Always been a diehard Raider. Didn't matter where I lived. Always roll with the silver and black. Didn't care. Okay. My cars were either blue or black. Had one white car, white Mustang, but you won't see me rolling. Nothing else. And I don't care. The Super Bowl came. I wanted the Niners to win because I don't want Kansas City winning nothing. Now, the Lakers are going to kill me, right? Well, here's the thing. You know, I can see us making a package deal to move up in the draft with the Bears that includes Fields. Well, I mean, why are we trading for Fields if we're moving up to the number one spot? Why do we have to give up more, in your opinion, to get Fields and the number one pick? That thing with Fields, I think they have to get done separately from the pick that they want to trade. Okay. And if they give up Fields, I don't see him moving no further than number 5. Okay. Look at the draft board. You got Chicago at 1. Okay. New England, then Washington, then Atlanta. Okay. If we get Fields, John, we don't have to trade up. Can we stop this? Why do we need Fields? Come on, somebody tell me that. Yeah, but why do we need Fields when we got we got when we got a quarterback in the fold who has played the game already, who knows the system, who knows the coach? There's some consistency there. And now we've got assistant after assistant after assistant backing up every coach in their position. Even the offensive coordinator has an assistant. The offensive this and that has an assistant. Everybody's an assistant on this team. And the last time I looked at teams like this, it was the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, Denver done it. The LA Rams did it. They did it in St. Louis. San Francisco does it. All these teams that are in it to win, even Kansas City, they had Bieniemy and these people, and you have the head coach, but at all the other positions, these guys are coaches as coordinators. You got to understand something. We already have a quarterback. We don't need Justin Fields when we already have one. The only difference in these two is one is mobile and one is not. That's not hard to tell. O'Connell, hey man, you can't stand back there like a goddamn statue. Period. Who agrees with me? Right. O'Connell is better than Fields. So at the end of the day, Why are we running to get anybody's quarterback? There's nobody out there worthy. Nope. The only trade I'd be trying to make, and I know it ain't gonna happen, is the trades that are, you know what, ridiculous. I want me a Josh Allen at quarterback, or go get me Lamar Jackson, or come on, man. Come on. If that's not happening, why am I going to spend any kind of draft capital on Justin Fields who ain't won jack squat? Yes. Yes. I'm just excited to see what will happen this season. You know what? I wish it was already August because, right. I want to see what these coaches do with these players. Is the coach is going to get Davante Adams to stop dropping balls when we know he's supposed to catch it because he caught everything that Carr threw at him, but he won't catch it with AOC? There's something going on there. Is Michael Mayer going to get off the turf toe or whatever it is and get going as we saw him play in Notre Dame? Is he going to be the Incredible Hulk at the position? Right. Is Josh Jacobs going to sign for not the bag, but is he going to sign for, the minimum, something around 9-10 million? He's not worth anything more than $11 million a year. I'd tag him again and see if he plays for his money. He played hurt last year, and then he was punking out in a couple of those games where he got hit, and he acted like he didn't want to play again. But what if we get Fields and clicks with our wide receiver? Then what about AOC? He just gonna clipboard it? Because I'm gonna tell you something. Fields is inconsistent. And you look at the tape, when he's good, he's good. But then he goes on this roller coaster. I don't see it. And I don't want to see Davante Adams doing a Travis Kelce or Mahomes throwing the helmet on the sideline. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the frustration that we went through with Garoppolo, and he didn't pan out for a hill of beans. And I thought he was going to come down here and do something more than what he did is wet the bed 10 times. All week and twice on Sunday, he did it. See, decisions have to be what is best for the team. We know we may lose some favorites. It's just business. All right. See, Anna, if you want to come in the show, any of you want to come in the show, Willie Wayne, I'd love to talk to you, Edward Winchell. I'm telling you right now, after all this talk, it would be funny hearing Cousins is coming to he's staying in Minnesota, and he likes it there. He's got a home. His kids are invested. It's a tough place to stay and live, and then move somewhere else and uproot your kids. That's a hard sell. Okay. That's right. Hit those likes. Y'all. Come on. Hit those likes. If you like what you're hearing, let us know. Share it up. Let somebody know. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm telling you right now, I think the Raiders will be doing themselves a bit of justice in this move, because if you're going to move possibly up in the draft, Atlanta, New England, Washington, we already talked about what Chicago is about. But if we went to Chicago and asked them for the pick, they're going to ask us for the hill and beans. 3 years of draft picks, first rounders, plus change. Chicago might want Jacoby Myers. Washington might be in play, but they need a quarterback. Could they get one at 13? Now, if they trade back with us, could they could they want to come along with us? Uh, uh, as a last resort, I'd rather have Cousins than Fields. Okay, all right. So now we know who's out there, Cousins or Fields. I'm not writing home about either which quarterback. I'm not. I'm not. Fields gets my excitement up because he can move, but we've got a quarterback that is accurate and he throws the ball. He really throws the ball accurately. I mean, last preseason, we was all going crazy about O'Connell from Purdue. So now we want to get off the train. He's at least better in accuracy. Fields has not won nothing. All right, Jack Kenna, have a good night. Gotta go. Good night, Bishop and the nation. Raiders for life. Come on, somebody. Come on. Raider. Raider. You already know. Come on, somebody. Yeah. I used to run 29 chapters worldwide, domestic and international. Okay. I had it called as One Nation Booster Club. And if anybody remembers me, they know I was a dedicated man. I didn't care if I had 3 people watching the game down there in Arizona or in New Mexico. I didn't give a doggone. I didn't care. I didn't care. I pushed as hard as I could go and until the wheels fell off. And then God called me to do something else. And I served with the Knights shortly after I turned the club over to Knights of the Shield with Albert DeLuna in Fresno. So I know football left and right. And if you want to come in and talk about some of that, come on. Jack Kenna said, hit those likes, y'all. I want to make sure that we are doing everything. How you doing, Vicky? Good to see you. God bless you all. Edward Winchell, if you want to come on in to the show, come and talk to me. I'd love to see you on the show. You have the link. Come on in. There we go. There's the link again if you all want to see it. Those of you on Facebook, I can't see your comments. Come on over. There's the link. If you want to come on board, come on and come in and give us your opinion on what you think is good for us in this off season. We have plenty to look at because right now, let me see here. Yeah. Third, another day, 3 pick, do it. We have him for 1 year to decide if we want to sign him long term. If it doesn't work, we will probably have a higher pick next. See, we didn't go get those coaches to see what we can do this year. We're trying to win this year. That's what I'm trying to get the nation to understand is the Raider Nation. Come on, everybody. We ain't there to spin the wheels to see if we can try it out or if O'Connell's going to be the man this next year and then he wet the bed or just doesn't get it done. Because I'm not going to clown on the guy. He's a rookie. Okay. And he's did better than those other high names, but some of those guys did good. Okay. No on Fields. All right, Edward Winchell. Right. I agree. Why are we going to waste a draft pick or anybody? And I saw a comment ago. Here we go. Edward Winchell. I think you must be smoking something. Do we include Crosby in a deal to get number 1 or not in the draft? Huh? I want to talk to Edward Winchell. He's nearly 30. Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about? Who's nearly 30? Hmm? Hmm? Anthony? You said he's nearly 30. Who are you referring to? Santiago says, I wish O'Connell would change his number to number 16 after our guy, Jim Plunkett. 2 Super Bowls. Right. He got it done, didn't he? Came out over after being with many teams and said he was washed up, and he came to the Raiders. It's all, man, those players, a lot of them came to the Raiders and knocked the lights out. Knocked them out. Cliff Branch was my dear friend. God rest his soul. Had him on speed dial. He was a believer of Christ. He also won 3 Super Bowls with the Raiders. All 3 Super Bowls with the Raiders. Okay? Same for Bo Nix. Right, Matt Marinovich. You got that right. Crosby he ain't going nowhere. You can forget it. Crosby is not going anywhere. Now, Bo Nix, yeah. I want JJ, is it JJ McCarthy? Yeah. He looked nice. If we don't get a oh my goodness, losing my train of thought here. See, there we go. McCarthy would be a good one to get because he is a runner and he has a great arm. Finally, you see it? I see it. Do you see it? JJ McCarthy. Somebody says, heck no, I'm not taking McCarthy in the first round. I think somebody's going to get him in the first round. Could be the latter part. Could be the latter part. And Jimmy Glass will be gone soon. Well, Matt Marinovich, yes, I agree. And I don't buy the we're going to talk about that in a minute, Anthony. If you want to come into the show, hit the link, come on in. But see, Jimmy G knew what he was taking. His paperwork wasn't in order. He didn't. Yeah, whatever. I don't buy that. You ever notice? You see these guys on TV. Some of these guys are getting away with stuff that you and I would never get away with. One of us, I'm just going to go there for one quick second. One of us will get caught up with some stuff. We trying to beat a misdemeanor. But you got guys who are on these levels and platforms doing things, and you and I are looking at the news like, how they going to get out of that? But they get out of it. But you and I go to court. Nah. So I don't buy Jimmy G. He can go. Right. Jimmy G is a joke. Get Cousins or Flacco. Flacco's going to retire. Cousins is staying in Minnesota. Book it. Okay. No way on Cousins. Right. Yeah, he's an injury machine. Get Cousins or Flacco so O'Connell can sit and learn a year or two. If you got Cousins or Flacco, come on. What? O'Connell's going to be on the field within the first 5 games. Cousins going to get hurt in our division. Okay? Kansas City defense ain't no joke. They front line. You can run on them, but they will come for the quarterback. Denver ain't no slough either on defense. And the Chargers, as much as we like to talk trash, they come too for the quarterback. So no, Cousins ain't built to come there. We need somebody who can get out of the lane and G String was a bust. He did nothing for this community. The only time I saw him do anything was give the Chiefs fans Super Bowl tickets. That was it. Right. Right, Anna. Right. 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 So see, Harbaugh's with the Chargers now. Y'all got to remember this. He's not coming there to play patty cake. He gonna get them guys to play. Even the guys that ain't household names on that D line, they're coming to play for him. I don't know who the coordinator is on defense, but I'm just gonna put it out there that at the end of the day, I think Jimmy G will be lucky to be a backup in the league. He ain't starting for nobody. Not even Atlanta or the Colts, or he can be a backup in Detroit for old boy playing quarterback that didn't get it done in the playoffs. Damn right, GA Patriot. Come on into the show if you want to talk about anything here. I see you guys hate Jimmy G. He will be back. He ain't playing for nobody as a starter. He ain't doing that. He ain't doing that. If you're over on Facebook and you want to come into the show, hit the link. Come on over. The link is there for all of you to come and see. You can come into the show and talk about anything of the topics or Major League Baseball, the NBA, or hockey. I don't care. We can chop it up right here on the Captain Jack Show. And again, you don't know Jack about sports. We're going to have Angelo coming in about another 45 minutes. He'll be joining us. But I do want to say thank you again for everybody having me on the show, especially Jack Rackham. He is a friend of mine. Not only though we serve together in the United States Navy, we are two salty doggies. And I don't care what anybody thinks or says. This is where you want to have it if you want to talk about sports. Says, who do you want starting for the Raiders week 1? Now there's the question. Because even if you draft a quarterback up there at number 1, top 5, I'm not sure they're going to beat out Aiden O'Connell for QB number 1. So why are we going to trade up? Right? It raises the question. Did you hear that? I'm going to say that again. Why are we going to trade up to number 1 if the guy we get ain't going to start over Aiden O'Connell? Right? It makes all the sense, don't it? Now you start to wonder, right, it's a wasted trade up. Thank you, Michael. You finally are with me now. Because half these guys are question marks. You don't know if they're going to be the Super Bowl Patrick Mahomes. You don't know it ain't going to be him. He just happened to be in a system and they hit lightning because of the head coach. All that other stuff. Yeah. Move up to get a QB, right? Move up to get a Q. Move up to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah. But what if the guy you get is a Jamarcus Russell? What if the guy you get is a Ryan Leaf? Okay. And I'm with you, Edward. Edward Winchell. I'm tired of being a mediocre team. Right. But people, look. Take time while you're here on the show. Go look at the Raiders coaching staff. They didn't come to get a paycheck to play around. Nope. No, they didn't. You got real guys on the team. Offensive coordinator. He ain't playing. He come in there to get a timing system. 1, 2, 3, balls out. 1, 2, 3, balls out. And I don't know if Peggy's watching on Facebook. Peggy, if you're there, come on in. I'd love to chop some of this up with you, because at the end of the day, if we trade and that guy turns out to be a bust, we're right there. We're right there again. I like Antonio Pierce as the head coach. That's not the problem. He ain't the problem. He gets the guys rah ready to go out there. The coordinators teach the technical side of the ball. For any of y'all who played football out there like Captain and I'm telling you, I played safety and wide receiver. You don't want to see me. I try to knock the snot balls out of you. I didn't care. I'm from that guard. You come on the field, I tell you, if you came out here not to get hurt or to get touched, not to get touched, you better go choose another sport, because if you're in my crosshairs, I'm here to knock you out of the game. That's me. So I agree with you, Michael. Yeah. AP is a great coach. I like what he's going to do. I think he's better than most of the coaches in our division. I think he's better than the coach in Kansas City. All he does is sit up there and hold a clipboard. Yeah. They said last season that these guys would walk through a wall for him. I don't know about you, but when you think of coaches losing the locker room, McDaniels, could you imagine if he had them ready to play like AP? Yeah. Broken Hollow, you're right. I used to stunt all night. Coach thought I was crazy. I said, they ain't got the nuts to throw them balls. No, he ain't catching nothing on my watch. Okay? No. And I didn't care. I didn't care if I didn't start. I had reckless abandon on my heart. I didn't care. And I'm going to tell you something. The Raiders, they want to win now. Go look at the coaching staff of the Raiders. They're stacked. You got assistant on assistant on assistant on assistant. There'd be no excuse for these guys saying, well, we weren't prepared. You won't hear that statement if they lose a game. You'll hear accountability. Okay? With a top 5 defense, I don't need a Dan Marino. We need a QB who can execute and not turn the ball. Right. Yes. See? You hit the nail on the head. And This was the question I want to ask now is this: trade, move back, or stay put at 13? See? Because at the end of the day, if you draft a quarterback, and yes, we need some depth at quarterback, yes, there'll be guys to get second, third round. They ain't going to be first round picks, but it might be lightning in the bottle like a Patrick Mahomes in the fourth round. It might be like a Tom Brady out there. It might be. It depends on Tom Telesco. And I know he is great at drafting. That's why I'm excited. Because if we don't move up, and it ain't worth it for us to move up and sell the whole house, the farm, and the damn big wheel outside, why am I going to trade up there if he's not better than Aiden O'Connell? You see what I mean? You don't need this great guy, because Baltimore did it years ago when they beat us. They came into Oakland and beat us with Siragusa and laid on Rich Gannon, and that was it. But they had Ray Lewis and them and company. But guess who their quarterback was? Nobody. They won. They was feared because of their defense. So you're right, GA Patriot. Right. GA Patriot. Yeah. You see, last I heard was Andy Reid saying AP was a great head coach on national TV. Right. We gave them a big Christmas present. And if it wasn't for us, yeah, Trent Dilfer. Right. Who? Right. Is he in the Hall of Fame? No. Okay. Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett did it twice. He ain't getting the accolades. But the defense did it. So, well, Andy Reid, by the way, I was expecting him to retire. He still might do it. They say he's coming back. The defensive end, Jones, says he wants to come back to Kansas City. I don't really want Jones when you got Malcolm Kuntz and Crosby and you got Wilson who's waiting to show up. I don't know what he's going to do at the end of the day. Wilson. He's looking like a bust. So I don't know. At 13, if I'm to stay at 13 and sit down, hands pat, let's see here. If I'm going to stay at 13 and pick, I got to look at what our greatest needs are. Right away, I'm looking at offensive line. That offensive line needs some help. Okay? We need some help. Right. I was at that game. Bloody knuckles. Okay? I was pounding the seat telling everybody in the stadium in my area. I said, if you're a true Raider, you don't sit on your hands. This ain't San Francisco. Back then, I was drinking. I said, hey, we drink tequila over here, not white wine. You bet if you go home with your voice, you know you didn't do your job as a fan. You better be yelling all night. Defense. Yeah. If he never laid on Rich Gannon like that, we might have won that game. Okay? Lester Hayes and Plunkett should be in the Hall of Fame. Right. It's disrespectful. It's so disrespectful when you think about it. The real Raiders deserve to be in there. They had an era back then. They was feared to come play the Raiders. Guys would tell the coach on the opposing team with Cliff Branch. He said guys would tell them, "Hey, coach, I'm gonna sit this one out." Coach say, "Why?" He says, that team we playing in Oakland, they awfully physical. They like to hit. If George Atkinson, you ever run into George Atkinson, he'll tell you, they had the Black Sox rolling in Oakland. And that defense was coming out to hit somebody. Okay. Right. Now, if I trade, we've talked about that. It's taking the chance. It's rolling the dice. You just don't know what you're going to get. 2, if we move back, get some more picks, it's not a bad thing to do. At 13, you're not that far back, but you could get some more picks for now and next year. Okay? Who knows what quarterback's going to be out there next year if we don't pan out to get one this year. I'd hate to see that we don't, because the draft is deep at quarterback. It's deep at wide receiver. It's deep at offensive line. Okay. Defensive line, it's out there. Yeah. I want the defensive tackle, I believe he is, from Baltimore. Okay. I think his name's Mbuki. That guy can, DM Mbuki, his name is. He can play ball. Okay. You plug him in the middle. Oh, that's dangerous. Nobody's going to run on us. Okay. AOC is the cheap start and get defensive tackle and a free agent, huh? I'm at work, so I'm listening, but I'm back and forth. Gotcha. No problem, Vicky. No problem. Yeah. But CGA Patriot, the game has changed, but some of these fundamentals haven't. Right. When you're running the ball, let's go back to the Super Bowl. What did the Niners do and didn't do what they should have did? They were running the ball. They were doing that play action. They were throwing out in the flat. What happened? They went away from that. Then they doing 3 and outs. And I don't know for the life of me how you score a touchdown and don't get the extra point in the stadium which we play in, which is indoors and covered. What the heck? And so all that, yeah, right. I don't buy they didn't read the rule book. That just sounds like some cockamamie excuse. You lose the Super Bowl because you didn't know the rules. Brother, if I'm the quarterback, I'm getting in the end zone. Ain't no field goal to be had here in overtime, because if you put the ball back in the other opposing team, this is the Super Bowl. They're here for a reason. You got to believe that other quarterback is going to drive the ball down the field and score. Where you didn't. Fundamentals. Okay. Our backup wasn't prepared. Hoying running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Yeah. There you go. I'm going to tell you right now. The combine comes, I believe, at the latter part of March. It'll be all over NFL Network. You'll be able to watch it. Get in there and pay attention to some of these guys. You'll see who's coming to the team and probably who isn't. Again, Tom Telesco is used to drafting from the smaller schools. So at the end of the day, when the Raiders like to go big in these big names, don't be surprised if you see somebody not be so flashy of the big name that's on ESPN, but the kid can flat out play the style of ball we play in Las Vegas. Okay. And again, if you're watching over on Facebook, click on the link, come on over to YouTube, and that is www.youtube.com/C/Captain Jack Rackham Levy, and you should be able to come right onto the link. YouTube. Strategy is very important. Marvin Lewis has a good football mind. Oh, see? You said something there, right? Right? You see? That's what I'm talking about. There's a head coach coming to be an assistant under Antonio Pierce. Hello, somebody. So, right. Robert Spillane was a great under-the-radar signing. Yes. We got, man, I'm just, yeah. We got to get that offensive line fixed. We need somebody on defense, free agency to fix instead of the draft, because some of the guys we've drafted, they're not playing for us no more. I saw one of the guys playing for Kansas City, the big dude from LSU, Farrell. Right. He's a keeper. But who you going to pair up with him beyond the young guy we got? He seems to be good if he can stay healthy. I don't see a lot out there. I like the kid from UCLA. Okay. Thank you. Diablo. Thank you. And see, he's got the speed. He's got the moxie. He's got the intangibles. He does. But can he stay healthy for a whole season? Okay. I know injuries happen and what have you, but I need you guys to understand that if we going to be serious and make a run, we got to do it better than the Chargers that got Bosa, who never played a full season since he's been there. Okay. We know how to beat Kansas City in their house. When was the last? Man, come on, man. And we did it with the quarterback that we got in O'Connell. He's the starter. He's QB number one. He didn't do much, but we still won that game because of our defense. Okay? Now you take that defense away, and Crosby probably going to say, no, I want out of here. Okay? I'm just putting that out there. Let's see here. You guys can hit the link and come on over to the show. If you want to come in, you're more than happy to come on in and join. Maybe a linebacker in the draft, but we need that leader in the middle of the defense. Right. Spillane needs help. I can't wait to see what Jack can do this coming up season. Now, you hit the nail on the head. And here's the thing. I like our opportunities we got to go out here and get. But again, if you look at what the Raiders do, we have not done well in the first round for so many years. Okay. Last guy I really saw that came out was Charles Woodson. Beyond that, they're not what they used to be. They don't make them like they used to. Yeah, right. You see, that's the thing. He's a little older than most QBs that came out of the draft, but he understands football. He gets it. He knows how to improvise. But if he stops panicking and gets the ball out, I'm telling you, that new system they got. 1, 2, 3, balls out. 1, 2, 3, balls out. The new coordinator, which just came over, he's going to have them on that system that Fields couldn't seem to get on. Just says something there, right? For the people that want Justin Fields to play for the Raiders. Say that one more time. The coordinator that came to us that was from Chicago, he's on a fast system. Get the ball out quick. Fields could never get up to that to help him. Okay? I don't know if y'all followed that right there. Right. 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 You see, Baltimore was able to do that. Why? Because Ray Lewis had that dog in him. He didn't care. He didn't care who they played, who was on the other side. He said, I'm not going out like that today, and we ain't losing to them. Okay? We need somebody like that. That hungry dog, that every down lineman who's going to go to get it done. Now, I don't know every defensive lineman that's playing in the draft, but at the end of the day, I see you. I want to make sure that I have somebody who's going to help Crosby push that middle. Spillane likes to catch the ball. He tackles well. He's all over the field. Now, Diablo, stay healthy. But we need another guy out there and on that D-line. I think the D-line could be addressed in free agency if we throw the right money at the guys that are out there. Okay? And there's a few of them. I like the opportunities that the Raiders have because they have an opportunity to push. You don't have to throw the bag at a Jones. I see you there. It says I see you, Anna. It says hockey time. All right. Yeah. Good luck, Knights. Right. We need pressure up the middle, chasing QBs towards Max or Coons. Right. You don't need the pocket to go out like this. You need it to close so that the QB, a Patrick Mahomes, a Herbert, whoever's playing QB in Denver. Okay? Now, I'm just put this out there. What's his name? Antonio Pierce was 3-1 at the end of the year in our division. So, for the first time in a long time, we could possibly be winning that flag that says AFC West champions and knock Kansas City back to where they belong to be. Second, third, fourth, wherever. It's the coaching too. The Raiders are bringing in the coaches that can. Right. So that's the part that I want to talk about. You see, there are coaches that are ready to teach the guys at every position to play. And now, without further ado, I want to welcome in my great dear friend, Angelo, who is coming on board. Hey, there you go.
Hey,
good
guys.
To see you, brother.
Good to see you. Good. Are you feeling better? Are you okay? Is the family okay?
All is well. All is well, man.
Good,
still hurt,
brother.
But yeah.
No, believe me, I know. Just coming back from transplant support group. So
yeah, there you go.
A chance to talk to everybody there. I was trying to read through the comments, so it sounds like you guys have been talking quarterbacks a lot tonight. There's been a lot of quarterback talks.
Well, we've been chopping it up about. First, we were talking about, are we going to trade, and then we talked about, does it make sense? Because at the end of the day, I don't care what pick you got, who you pick. It's always a crapshoot. We did it with Jamarcus Russell. We did it with other guys, and for many years we've been looking stupid. Like we don't know what we're doing. We're late to the party, and we didn't go out here and get all these coaches and assistants to the assistant to let the dog and pony show go, well, we'll see what happens this year. No, we're trying to win this year. If it's O'Connell, God bless him. If it's somebody else that's going to come in, God bless him. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if we go draft Caleb Williams at number 1, hypothetically. And watch this. And he turned out to not play our style and brand of football. He has said so many times he don't want to go to Chicago. He might pull an Eli Manning move on him. I don't know. Chicago's talking about they want to move Fields. Then they say they're not. Then he says he loves it there and he wants to stay. Hey, I really don't want nothing to do with that mess if I'm in the war room. I don't. Keep that over there in the Midwest or whatever they call it. Second, Atlanta, New England, Washington, aside from Chicago, all have different needs. If we got to trade, I don't know if I want to give up the whole house and future for some guy that might not be any more better than Aiden O'Connell. That would be terrible. And then what's that going to do to O'Connell? What's that really going to do?
No, I hear you. And I'm reading, I'm catching up, reading through the comments. I'm going to give you a little bit of a break. So let me talk for a bit. First off, I want to thank the entire group who came on Sunday. Amazingly enough, 250 of you stayed on for the entire 2 hours. So thank you for that. That's amazing. I think it peaked at like 320. So hopefully all the information I was giving you about every single coach breakdown, where they were coming from, what they were doing. And like I've told you guys before, I will always do my best that if I researched it, I'll bring it to the show. I'll just give it to you as is. And then everybody can have differing opinions. And then yesterday, I was on the Wild Wild West show where I was the Raider Nation rep, right? And we talked about this type of stuff. What are the red flags that we're dealing with? What's the difference between the Chargers, the Broncos, the Raiders, even the Chiefs? You know, the Chiefs have a lot of questions to ask this year. So, but yeah, let me get on my high horse for a bit here. Catch yourself a drink real quick, my brother. All right. So guys, yeah, no, what AJ the Raiders telling us tonight is, you know, I believe that he doesn't really agree that much that we should be going for trading the farm. And just so that everybody is clear on what the actual farm is, currently the newest article is Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network or of the NFL, who stated that in order for the Raiders to move up from number 13 pick to the number 3 pick, if we're trying to go to the Patriots, should Jaden Daniels fall that low, apparently that's going to cost the number 1 this year, the number 1 next year, the number 1 the year after that, and the number 3 pick of either next year or something crazy like the number 2 pick of the year after that, which again, that's a lot. That is a lot. I completely agree with Bishop that that's way too much to give. I've always said that if the deal is the Patrick Mahomes deal, which at the time Kansas City traded up from number 27 to go to number 10 with Buffalo, and what they did was they traded the number 27 pick for the number 10 pick. They also traded the number 3 pick of the following year, and they traded the number 1 pick of the following year. 2 number 1s and a number 3. That's still a pretty good amount because you never really know who you're going to get in the draft. But you know what? If they really want to get Jaden Daniels, then great. You know, we have to be at a point where we are trusting the process of the new regime, right? We're now again in another new regime. I know that some of you don't really want to hear that we have to be in this new regime, but a lot of us love the fact that we finally got this new regime. So we got to let it play itself out. And I've said it on several different shows that I guested on, where as happy as we all were that we got AP, and as happy as we all were that everything's moving the direction that we want it to go, nobody can get upset if we don't do as well as what everyone would expect. Now, just to give you an idea of what I'm hoping happens, a little history lesson for some of you that may or may not remember this, but when Mike Shanahan was our coach, his second year, Art Shell had to take over as the interim. So this is very similar to the Josh McDaniels and AP situation. The very next year that Art Shell got to be the full head coach, ran it the way he wanted to run it, we won 12 games that year. And I don't know if you guys remember this. I remember it because I was about to hit my freshman year in high school, and I was living in Alameda, where the Raiders headquarters would have eventually have been when they came back to Oakland in '95. But I was like thinking, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Art Shell's our full coach in his first year. We might make it to the Super Bowl. And that was the year that we got destroyed by the Buffalo Bills. And that was the year that the Buffalo Bills went to the Super Bowl and the Scott Norwood kick happened. And, you know, the rest is history, right? The next 4 years is Buffalo representing the AFC for the Super Bowl. So it's possible that, just like I believe AJ was saying it earlier, that the Raiders might be, they're on a win now mode, and next year we might win 12 games. You know, if Art Shell could do it back in those days, we have really good talent right now. So you never know. I think that we're at a point now as a Raider Nation fan base where we're kind of splitting hairs, right? Where we're like, oh, I don't know, AOC should start. Oh, we should go draft a quarterback. We should do this. We should do that. Look, guys, the fact that, in all honesty, if you really, really, really just think about it, in all honesty, we were one bogus penalty away that Jack Jones call was bogus, but we were one bogus penalty away from making it to the playoffs. And that's with AP taking over halfway through all the turmoil. So that's what I'm saying. Imagine what happens now where AP's is in charge. He's hiring all these coaches that AJ was discussing earlier. He's hiring all these coaches that I named for you guys on Sunday's show. And we hired the new coaches. Somebody on the chat, I think, even talked about our O-line coach and our QB coach. We talked about the QB coach yesterday, Scangarello, who a lot of Denver Broncos fans wanted this year as their offensive coordinator. Well, he's our just quarterback coach. And a lot of it is already showing you. It's kind of, we're essentially tipping our hand on what our game plan is going to be next year based on all these coaching hires. All you need to know is, yes, it's going to be get the ball out of the pocket quick. Yes, it's going to be very run heavy. Yes, it's going to come from that West Coast offense tree. Because Luke Getsy is coming in, you're probably most likely going to see Michael Mayer be one of the top tight ends in the league because look what happened to Luke Kmet, right? Luke Getsy was the one that had the Chicago Bears as the number one running team in the NFL 2 years ago. And then last year it was the number 2 running team. So guess what we're doing, everyone? We're running the ball. We're grinding it out, which is why I've always agreed with Bishop on this, that we need to spend our draft picks and we need to focus our salary cap on building the trenches. Let's go get a DJ Reader. Let's go ahead and help Max Crosby out. Let's go get Amadou Bouquet. Let's go get Christian Wilkins, right? Let's spend the money accordingly, but also let's make sure that we have our offensive line correct. Because right now we can talk about Colton Miller. Okay, that's nice. Parham is coming up. Okay, cool. And then who's on the right side? Because then if we're going to talk about Thayer Mumford, still a little early, could be good, but we don't know, right? And do we really want to go this season with an O-line where we're just kind of shrugging our shoulders like, I hope they do well, when there's literally people in free agency like Michael Onwenu. That guy right there for $15 million, maybe 12, is going to solidify our right side right off the bat, right? There is a draft that could go to number 13 in Talisi Fuaga from Oregon State. That guy's a monster. He's like 335. And if you watch them all year, but if you watch him in the Senior Bowl, it didn't matter who was rushing on his side because he was able to move them around. He was basically like toying with them. There's so many and then it's center. Okay, so I'm glad one of the comments were, our new O-line coach. Our new O-line coach, James Craig. If you don't know anything about him, go look him up. He won the Joe Moore Award, which is the award for the best offensive line in all of college when he was at LSU. And by the way, the guy coached Lloyd Cushenberry, who is the center for the Denver Broncos, who, surprise, surprise, he's a free agent. You guys don't think that we would get someone like that to team back up with James Craig? Because he would definitely be an upgrade from Andre James, and he's not going to cost us a lot, right? So then we get somebody like Lloyd Cushenberry. Oh, and by the way, the other guy that he coached, Damian Lewis, he's a free agent now from Seattle. So we might be bringing back them Joe Moore Award winners from LSU. Like, there's a lot of positives that's going this way. So yeah, guys, it's a time to be happy, right? Raider Ryan, thank you for the shout out there. It's a time to be happy. It's not a time to be angry. and no matter what the move is, we got to trust the process. And you know, AJ, I've always said, if it's AOC, then great. Because what was so bad? He won 5 games. He lost 5 games, and it was a terrible circus that was happening around him. I wonder what happens if, and for anyone who doesn't believe in AOC, blah, blah, mobility this, mobility that, listen, during the draft that when we drafted him, a lot of teams wanted him, which is why we needed to trade up to go get him. But don't let me try to sell you on him. Go read all of the old draft analysis on this guy. Wow, GA. Oh, man. Oh, we got to leave this up for a while. GA, you are the man. You've been supporting the show so much. Wow. Let's see. I hear nobody talking about this. Remember that this is Josh McDaniels' roster. AP hasn't even had an off season yet. Let the new coach build the sporting cast he wants before trading the farm for a franchise QB. I'm gonna leave that up for a while. First of all, thank you so much for the $20. We really appreciate that. That's fantastic. At the same time, I want to address this because AP was handed the groceries from Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. And AP is such a good chef.
Right.
That he cooked good soul food out of maybe a different group of groceries. And what we ended up finding out is there's some stuff that we like out of those groceries, right? Parham, actually, pretty good pick.
See,
right? Mumford's not so bad.
See,
Zamir
that's
that's go ahead, Bishop.
Mhm. That is exactly what I was trying to focus on because I said, can you see Tom Telesco in the war room? Can you visualize it? Let's imagine that it's, April now and we've got enough time to work out the who's going to do what and trade and this and that and free agent this and that and whatever. Well, whatever. And you were sitting watching the war room of Tom Telesco, coach Antonio Pierce, and the other coaches and offensive coaches and coordinators. And all I'm going to be doing is going like this. We coming. Because you're right when you said he hasn't even put his stank on the roster yet. And he's a ball hawk. The coach is a go-getter. And I love that where he's from and he's close to the West Coast and not out there in New York, right? He did his thing. But if you watch how Antonio Pierce played for the New York Giants, that's how his mantra is. He is not a guy who is just there to be the head coach, put the pin on his shirt, and whatever's going to happen. See, we're done with all that. We finally got somebody who feels like we do. That's one of us as a head coach. Okay? The guy is intense. His defense mantra, his mindset, he tells these guys stuff like, you know who's out there? They talking all kind of crazy about you. Like a team like Kansas City. They think they can just come to Vegas and win, like Kelsey says. That's disrespect from the get-go. Oh, we're going to have golf. I always win in Las Vegas, Kelsey says. That's some golf tournament. Back when Carr was the quarterback. Carr allowed that kind of stuff to be said while he was the quarterback. But you didn't hear the coach saying nothing. But this coach, I live here, he ain't taking no prisoners. And he don't care what it looked like. If it don't fit in your political box at the end of the day as a football fan, he don't care. That reminds me of the coach who was the coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Trying to remember his name. It was so long ago. He had that team, and his mantra was the boogeyman is on the other side of the door. You better be willing to go kick the damn door in and say, where is the son of a? That's how Antonio Pierce is. That was Brian Billick who said that. And I'm going to tell you.
Oh, that's right.
Y'all just sit, relax, and wait. As my colleague is saying here, don't worry about all the stuff going on ESPN and how come we ain't doing this and how come we ain't being said in that and oh, they're saying this. Shut up. Sit back, relax, have your whatever you having, eat your food, enjoy this off season, relax. Baseball season is here. Don't worry about it. That's why all them coaches got hired. They know what they doing. Oh, I can't wait, Angelo, because I'm gonna tell you something.
No. Yeah.
I want to see when football starts, what the other teams are going to do is old, what's his name? He used to say, Hulk Hogan, he say, what you going to do when the Raiders come down on you? What you going to do when they come pounding down on you? Come on. I am excited beyond, because that coach had those guys ready to play, like you said, while the circus was going on, and he got them. Come here, let me talk to you. Come here, Devontae Adams. Come here, Crosby. Come here, rookie. Okay? He got that offensive line to block for that rookie differently than when McDaniels was the coach.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Watching the game, people? Or are you just looking when we scored the points? There's a difference.
Right.
And it matters in the coaches.
He was able to also get a lot of
block.
Yeah. No, and defensively, AP was able to pull a lot of energy from some of the older people that we have. I mean, we're probably not going to keep, a Butler or a Jenkins, but those guys played their butts off. I wouldn't be surprised if those guys do stay on in the 73 roster or the 75 roster, so that we can have all that competition. And I think that's the AP philosophy, right? The AP philosophy is that we're going to compete every day. We're not going to wait till Sunday to compete. Sunday is going to be easy. Sunday is going to be the pride, the reward for us competing every day this week. Right. And his attitude even is, and I love it because he's like, if you don't want to compete today, you can go hit the door. That's fine with me. Come back tomorrow. But you don't need to be around me. You either want to compete today or you don't want to compete today. So, yeah, no, absolutely. The attitude is there. Then he brought in his coaching staff. So don't let the smoke fool you. You're going to hear Tom Florio talk about it, and all these different people are going to say, oh, the Raiders are going to try to get this. The first thing the Raiders are going to address is the trenches. If we're going to play Raider football, then we need to play Raider football. And we had Archell, we had Jim Otto. Like, we want to play Raider football, then Colton Miller's not enough. All right? We need to go bring some of them big boys. There's a big boy out of Oregon right now, Jackson Powers Johnson. He's a center. If you watch them in the Senior Bowl, I first of all, to see a center that weighs 330 pounds that can move that quickly with his feet and shift, pass protect, be mean. That guy, I thought Jackson Powers Johnson was going to maybe drop to the late second because he did so well, and there's so much tape of how good that center from Oregon is now. He's going up to the first. So, I'm just going to give you guys a scenario because everybody keeps talking about trading up for a quarterback. Well, comment on this if you agree. What if, they don't trade up for a quarterback and then they say, you know what, at 13, it's looking pretty good. Let me trade down. And they trade down and they end up getting not only Jackson Powers Johnson, but then maybe they get someone like a Quinion Mitchell's cornerback or a Terrion Arnold cornerback or a Byron Murphy. Can you imagine in the first round, because we traded down somehow, we were able to get Jackson Powers Johnson, center, and Byron Murphy in the two late first rounds somehow, right? Something like that, or any type of combinations.
How about Latu, who's 6'5"? He's slightly bigger than Turner from Bama, but Latu coming out from UCLA, who's a senior, and that guy coming out from Bama's a junior. So you talk about the guy who's more mature, who's played longer, and this guy, 6'5", 265. Okay. I like it. Bring out the hit squad.
Yeah.
You're talking about drafting. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking about us moving
No,
back.
let
That
me
was
talk
one of the
about that
options.
a little bit, Bishop.
Because
No.
if we move back and couple our picks, now you can go get you another corner for some of the guys that might leave to line up opposite Jock Jones
Yeah.
and turn this thing around, and maybe the second round go get that's right. The boogeyman is on our side of the door this time. That's right. You damn right. And I'm gonna tell you, see, oh man, many people don't remember when the Raiders played in Oakland. Nasty.
I was just talking about that, Bishop. But that's what I'm saying is
hit squad. Yeah. The Black Sox. Yeah. I grew up watching that.
Yeah. No, Bishop, let me add this real quick. Bishop, let me add this, and then you can keep going with that. But people forget that the Detroit Pistons, who was the bad boys of basketball, they took the Raiders. They wore the Raider gear because they wanted to be the Raiders of the basketball league. That's where the Detroit Pistons got it from. They got it from us, right? Okay. So go ahead, though, Bishop. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you, football at its greatest, John Madden was the king of Monday night. Nobody wanted to play the Raiders on Monday night. His record was impeccable, okay? He had over a 900 average. And this new game that they have is called The Show. But back then it was football. You could touch the quarterback. You were implored to hit the quarterback. All this pass interference. No, the Raiders played with fear to inflict on the other team. Now, I'm not for knocking a guy and paralyzing him, but Jack Tatum did that. Okay. New England walked in there and they thought they was going to roll out there and play their ball. And that man got hit so hard, boy, they had to carry him out on a stretcher, and he never walked again. Now, I'll tell you something. Finally, when people start to understand, and moms and pops out there with the kids, that's a gladiator sport out there. It's meant to hit. You wear a helmet because you're going to have contact. So the Oakland Raiders, who instilled that, who invented that with Al Davis, God rest his soul, the greatest of all time. I don't care what the record is, and we only got 3. We got the best 3. We whooped on Minnesota. We whipped on Washington. We whipped on Philadelphia. We didn't roll up there and barely win by a field goal or overtime. We smashed and dominated. And nobody wanted to play the Raiders, whether it was the Los Angeles Raiders, but you doggone sure you didn't want to play the Oakland Raiders. Guys would tell coaches, I got to sit it out, on the flight out here, because they didn't want to get hurt. Ask some of the greats that are still around about those days. They'll tell you. They ain't got no reason to lie, to hype nothing up. Every Raider who played in those games should be in the Hall of Fame, because they, as a team, not individual, but as a team, Al Davis said it, we dominated. You couldn't play our brand of ball and beat us. You could put a Marcus Allen on another team, but he wouldn't play the way he played for us. And a Bo Jackson wouldn't play the way he played for us. And a Jim Plunkett wouldn't have played the way he played for us. And a Kenny Stabler, my greatest of all time, my quarterback, wouldn't have played coming out of the saloon. All right, what time I need to be there? All right, I'll be there in a few minutes. And he come out there drunk as a skunk and beat you. All the way from Alabama. Okay? Jim Otto, right. Art Shell, Jim Otto, Alzado, right. Matuzak, Howie Long, Gene Upshaw. Come on, talk to me. Oh, man, I feel like preaching. Take it on, man. Go ahead, Angelo.
No, I'll tell you. Yeah. I'm going to give Bishop a little bit of a break. He was getting working. You were working him up. You start bringing back the old days, man. You almost gave Bishop a heart attack there, but he's right. There's definitely a lot to be excited about. We're back to power football. We're back to let's go get them. We're back to having a head coach like a John Madden, like an Art Shell, who wants to go ahead and put it all on the line. I mean, I think it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic, and I'll put this up, Broken Halo, because Hugh Jackson's great. There's nothing wrong with Hugh Jackson. For me, I thought that if you look at if we're just looking at records, Hugh Jackson is still the 5th winningest coach in Raider football history. He, as an offensive coordinator, his team was 8-8, and as a head coach, his team was 8-8. So I'm not going to hate on that at all. And he had to handle a very interesting situation. Let me just say it that way. A very interesting situation during those times, right? And I'll still say that during the passing of Al Davis, that Hugh Jackson was actually the perfect coach for us. He handled it very well. The way he handled the whole thing was very well. It was I don't know do you remember, were you even at that game at all during that time, during the passing of Al Davis, Bishop?
Yeah. I met Al Davis twice. Once when he was still standing and once when he was in a wheelchair, and I got to thank him for creating, this, because I said to him even before this, and it was called oh man, I can't memory. I'm getting old, but it was called something else, and the whole thing is when he put the team finally that said it was going to be the silver and black, the Raiders. I thought to myself, and I said, now this is the baddest of all creation. You can look around the league, don't nobody wear it like we do. You created this attitude, this bravado for us. You've given us the greatest thing to watch on the field. I've been watching it since I was 3 years old, 1976. Most people on here wasn't even still a thought in their daddy's nutsack at that time. And I'm trying to tell somebody, I saw glory. I saw guys playing with blood and guts on the field. They wasn't, hey, coach, I need to come out. Wasn't none of that. They taped it up or they didn't. And they kept playing. And when I saw players pounding their chests and on the field in the silver and black going like that, shaking their head and holding their heads high, I said, the Vikings should be worried because they look like they can go over there and slaughter them. And, the team across the bat, Joe Montana, at such a time later on in years, but my time when I saw him back when in the 70s, I said, yeah, them some bad mother suckers. And I don't care what anybody says about it's so far long ago. You turn on the tape and watch some of those games if you can. Now it's all the technology. You can Google anything. Go watch some of that. You'll see the intensity of how the game was played, where the level of perseverance, you wasn't worried. There was no, right. My last Raider game was Carr breaking his leg. Yes, see, long before Carr was even thought of at Fresno State, before he was even born, Kenny Stabler was winning ball games. He was doing things on the field that they had to make new rules for. Come on. Okay? The Holy Roller. Huh?
The Ghost in the Post.
Cliff Branch. You know what I mean? I see James Jett out there playing quarterback. Somebody want to talk to me.
Well, I mean, look, Bishop. I mean, we got like maybe 8 minutes left, and I think that the main point on Bishop's show tonight that he's really hitting on everyone is that we're back. We're back to that style of football. We're back to, and so when you guys are wanting to talk about the draft or talk about the type of players we're about to get, whether it's free agency or the draft, just remember, like what Bishop's saying tonight on his hosted show, which is what kind of Raider players do you want? Because it'd be great if I talked about it yesterday on the Wild Wild West show that it'd be fantastic if Chris Jones wanted to come here, but in all honesty, he probably won't, even if we offered him money, because he just, it would be a betrayal, right? It'd be like if Max Crosby for more money went to Kansas City Chiefs, right? Like it's a bit of a betrayal. So I don't see Chris Jones coming this way anyways, but there's plenty of other hard-hitting Raiders style free agents out there right now, like DJ Reader, from Cincinnati. He smashed us. He messed up his quad, so we might be able to get him on a bit of a discount. But watch how this guy played for Cincinnati last season. He was basically like their version of a Chris Jones. And you add someone like that with a Max Crosby, and we're going to start smashing some people. And so, yeah. So, like, the one thing I'll say, and you guys will see, like, you'll notice that when, on Sunday when I'm hosting the show, I'm going to give you a format of what we're going to be talking about. We're going to stick to that topic. And it might end up being quarterback because there's a lot of, like, quarterback talk right now, right? Is Justin Fields going to come over? Is blah, blah, blah. So we'll see by Sunday. Right. I'm going to see what the news is looking like. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to put out some facts for you guys. But the one thing I'll say about Jayden Daniels, and I know AP loves him, but in your opinion, Bishop, and I've watched a lot of Jayden Daniels tapes now, guys. So when I'm giving you my opinion, I'm giving it based on what I've seen. If I didn't see it, I'll give you like a little thing, but I'm not going to, unless I watched a lot of it. And I watched a lot of Jayden Daniels tapes. And one thing I'll tell you is in watching a lot of Jayden Daniels tapes, I ended up liking Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas even more, his wide receivers. And I'm not trying to take away anything from Jayden Daniels. I'm not saying he can't throw the ball, but he's got a good arm. It's not like a cannon. It's a good arm. I think there are other quarterbacks that can make those short and intermediate passes with a lot more drive in them that is in this draft. But out of everyone, yes, Jayden Daniels is the fastest, right? But when we're talking Raider football, Jayden Daniels to me isn't like a Baker Mayfield in the sense that Baker Mayfield is the guy who headbutts his own lineman without a helmet, right? He just does it. Like that's a Raider feel. Jayden Daniels, I feel like he's fragile at times when he was getting hit. And the main game I want you guys to watch is the Alabama game. Like, he's good. Not saying he's not good, Bishop. I'm just saying that 210 pound frame, it's a little fragile. So I agree with you when you were saying that even if we did draft a quarterback and even if we did draft him in the first round, and I'll say even if we traded up to go get someone like Jayden Daniels, I still don't think he should start. I think he needs to sit behind for a year, build up that body to become an NFL body, and not go getting hurt like what happened to RG3 or anything like that. So that's my last thing about the quarterback. But yeah, no, anything for you there, Bishop?
Yeah, I'm looking at the list of quarterbacks, and something just pops out to me about Caleb Williams. People remember when Trevor Lawrence went to Jacksonville. He still hasn't won at all. He's a big upgrade, but I'd like a Trevor Lawrence if we was able to get him, but it ain't gonna happen. Thank you, Edward. God bless you as well. And Caleb Williams, I could only see myself trading up to get him per se. Okay. If I'm trading up for Jayden Daniels, it has to be after Drake May. But Drake May is a good quarterback, don't you think, Angelo?
Oh yeah, no. And again, I don't want to because we're so short on time. But let me just tell you guys that Drake May, he's only 21. The way he drives that ball right now, oh my gosh! Like this guy, that guy to me is generational in that sense. Like as long as you surround him with good teachers, that Drake May kid is going to be great. As long as he's around really good teachers, you know.
6'4", 230 pounds. He can play.
Okay? And he's
got that frame.
He's only 21, which means he's gonna get stronger. He's gonna get bigger.
Hey, and real quick, the wide receiver class that's coming out. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. Jerry Rice's son. Okay, is Brendan Rice. He's 6'3", 210 pounds, coming out of USC, playing with Caleb Williams. He's ranked to go way back there. I'd like to have him paired up if we're gonna ship oh my goodness. If we're gonna ship the other wide receiver out. Okay. I think our best option is to go after
out. Yeah. No. We need to get
one of
other
those guys gets traded out to Renfro or whoever. We gotta go get somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
Some size.
Brendan
Rice. These guys that are so small, too short to extend the play. You know what I mean? That's great.
No, Brendan
Rice, but it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, Brendan Rice, he's going to fall, or right now he's projected to fall on the third because he was going to fall later than that, but he's been rising, you know, obviously because the hype's coming up. When we finally see the combine starting next week, we're going to find out some of these measurables. And yeah, someone like Brendan Rice, he could go even higher. But yeah, we could go draft somebody like Brendan Rice, and I don't think anybody would be too angry about that. You know, so again, and please, everybody needs to keep in mind that there's 9 picks. There's 9 picks. We have 9 picks. That's a lot of picks, right? We have all of the first 6.
I'm gonna leave you guys with this thought tonight. What if the draft comes tomorrow and Caleb Williams is not the number 1 overall pick?
Possible. It's possible. It's possible.
He don't want to go to Chicago. And other quarterbacks are there are worthy of that number 1 pick.
Yep. No,
you know what I mean?
That's a good way. That's a good way to end it too, right there, Bishop. That's a good way to end it because yeah, no, I'll put out to everyone what the subject's going to be come Sunday, and then you know, I'll get it going for everybody there. But no, Bishop, your energy for tonight and your love for the Raider Nation is that's why it's going to be good for you to actually just be a guest on my hosted show, because I do a lot of information talk, and then I'm going to bring you in for that energy. You know, like, let's see what Bishop thinks about this everybody. So, but yeah, no, you're right. It's very possible, Bishop. Very possible that Caleb Williams does not go number 1. He might talk him his way out of being number 1, honestly. He might be talking so much. You know, he doesn't have an agent, Bishop. Did you know that? He doesn't have an agent. So, but anyways, guys, it's getting close. So I'll let you close, Bishop.
This could turn into New England style. Thank you guys for joining the Captain Jack Show. It's been an honor to serve on tonight with you guys, be on this platform as well. Keep your prayers for Captain Jack. He's out doing school. As you know, we all don't live forever. And Captain Jack is a salty dog, just like I am. And thank you guys as well. Try to be more interactive if you can. If you want to call into the show, even though Captain's not here, we'd love to hear from you and hear from your perspective and see which way it's going. You know, whether you agree or disagree, we still support you. Thank you again.
You're listening to the Captain Jack Sports